let's go in 3, 2, 1, now. So, you know, it's Mega Man Game Boy game. We only have 4 Robot Masters to start with. Neptune first is the route. And let's go. One thing you'll probably notice pretty quickly, we don't have the traditional Mega Buster. Ooh, we're just going to get hit right away. Nice. We have the Mega Arm. I'm glad we immediately, like, got the first screen kind of 4 seconds behind. But that's okay. These helicopters are kind of annoying because you can't actually jump all the way up to hit this one. Mega Arm does 3 points of damage on the full charge, goes across the screen. Anything it tags on the way back also takes 3 points of damage, which is fun if we want to get snapback kills later. The half charge actually does 2 points of damage and is probably the best DPS in the game. Jump button, work with me. Okay. Okay, we're getting some butterflies out here, I guess. Neptune stage, besides being really long, has a lot of damage boosts in it, which is going to wreak havoc on my life meter as we go here. So, you have to be a little careful as you go through the stage. And this is probably the one Robot Master you definitely want to be able to take out with no health. Ooh, nice jump. Can we get the pipe jump here? It is, I'm told, less than 5 frames in this game. So, the lore, while we're waiting here on this ladder, some robot came down from space named Terra or Earth, depending on which instruction manual you're reading, the US one or the Japan one. And just decided, yeah, we're going to take over the world now. Okay, thanks, bye. And Mega Man, being Mega Man, sets out to, you know, do something about it. Buster doesn't work, at least in the opening cutscene, so here we go. And from there, it's a Mega Man game. Yay. And now you know the rest of the story. Wow, my jump button hates me. Sorry, we're dealing with a lot of extra lag. We're showing off how laggy Game Boy Mega Man games can be right now. So, Neptune. If you're far away from Neptune, you get this, like, ceiling shaking attack that generates drips of water from the ceiling that do minimal damage, and it lags the game like crazy. We don't want that at all. We want to stay close to Neptune and hit with mostly the half charges. Jumping over that saltwater attack. Lemon in there. There we go. Easy fight. Just a little bit of slowdown in there. Oh my goodness. And yes, Mega Man's arm is missing from his body when he shoots it, and it slowly floats back. You either have to wait for it to come back, you can actually weapon swap, and it just reappears. Go figure. So yeah, we have salt water, because this is a speedrun. We need lots of salt. This is actually probably one of the best weapons in the game as far as like damage output goes and everything else. However, it's the only weapon in the game that its base usage costs more than 1 bar of energy. This is a Game Boy Mega Man game, so you might have noticed that life meters, those weapon meters, they're not quite as big as their NES counterparts. I believe NES, you have 28 bars, and here on Game Boy, we only have 19. I think it's 19. So, that's an expensive weapon. This is Mercury's stage. Mercury's weapon is just useful. And it's kind of this weird buster shot that does 2 points of damage. And it can actually heal Mega Man too. So when you're playing this game casually, Mercury's weapon is really good to have. So there, we just want to tag the wall to make that stomper appear against the sidewall, so we don't hit it on the way up. That is the only appearance of that enemy in the game, so I hope you enjoyed it. Mandatory crusher room, I guess. So this stage, I mean, you've already caught on to the theme here. Lots of conveyor belts, lots of machinery. Mercury himself as a Star Droid Robot Master, whatever we're calling him this week. B button? Hello? I'm going to take that health at this point, actually. And this is a pretty precise kill. Good. As soon as he grabs that block, he's supposed to be invincible, so I'm impressed that we got that. I feel like my timing's all off there. Mercury is manipulatable. That's what I was going to say. His attack pattern depends on how many hit points he has left, if it's even or odd. So there's a fast pattern and there's a slow pattern. We'd like to see the fast pattern a little more often. So we're going to kind of manipulate him halfway through the fight into staying on an odd number of hit points. Mercury's weapon is also kind of weird in that when you get hit by it, you lose more than health. He basically steals items. And because he can't use them, you just lose them. This is more important later in the game when you don't want to lose W tanks. But we have a way of dealing with that. Right now, it's just don't get hit so we don't lose P chips, because we need 30 by the middle of the game to go shopping. There's a half charge. You can start holding B to start charging in a charge in this game. You can also up cancel your slides, which is kind of weird. I like it. I think 3 and 4 Game Boy do that too. I know 4 does. Prissy can tell me if I'm wrong about 3 Game Boy in that respect.
Sorry, what? Say again?
Does 3 Game Boy have up canceling for slides?
Up canceling? Yeah, oh, I can't. It's my game, but I cannot even remember anymore. I think so.
It's like one of those things that's just obscure Game Boy lore. And I wish other Mega Man games had that.
I think you're actually right. Because there's a weird way to slide cancel in Mega Man 3 Game Boy. I definitely remember that. And it's not A or left.
It's not A or left.
Yeah, it's gotta be up.
Gotta be up. So this is Mars' stage. There's a song about it. I'm not going to sing it because my voice is shot. Or I'm going to claim it's shot, so I don't have to sing it. Point is, this stage is full of explosions, and you've probably already noticed that whenever anything is flying on the screen in this game, it just lags a lot. So imagine all explosions, all these jumping things, and imagine anybody trying to play this game with any amount of speed. Which, of course, is what we signed up to do for some reason. It is super hecking laggy Mars' stage. These monkeys are also just terrible. This up cancel slide right there. This is actually perfectly safe. Just slide through everything. There's one point where you might miss the slide a little bit, but you'll land on the platform anyway. You just won't be able to walk forward. We're about to see why we did Mercury's stage first, because I mentioned that this was a nice little 2 point of damage weapon. So 1 full charge and then another 6 points of damage from Mercury's weapon is fine. The Grab Buster, it's Grab Buster in the US. You saw it with Snatch Buster here on the Japanese cart. Go figure. You're seeing those little electrons sort of health flying around. I think of them as that because they keep trying to orbit you until you actually get them. Come on, get down there. It does make the second half of the stage largely safe because you'll just be able to heal up from any of the damage you take. But, you know, we're talking about avoiding lag. Things like hitting that missile so there's one less thing floating through the air. We didn't slide fast enough. This is actually... there's a boost here. You can actually go off that missile, but I don't want to get caught taking a lot of damage from that missile and then dying on the spiny there. Oh well. That would have been the Tremaine boost. Saves a couple seconds. Oh my goodness. So Mars is the first time we're actually going to have the weakness for a... I'm going to keep saying Robot Master. Oh well. And it's Neptune. This game's weakness route, by the way, is a little weird. I'm sure you'll figure out by the end of the game. The missiles Mars shoots actually deflects the salt water. Really just cancels them. So we want to not hit his shot. You can get a double hit if you land the salt water perfectly to start the fight. It lags the game though, and it's not as fast as just hitting him a lot. It is useful to know how to do that for refights, though, so you can get some extra hits when you're low on Neptune ammo. Mars's weapon, I guess it kind of... It's been compared to Hard Knuckle by a few people in the past across the internet. Because it's this weapon that kind of floats in front of you for a moment before it zips off. You don't have any vertical control over it, though. It's a pretty decent weapon. And it does the same amount of damage, I think at least, whether it's standing still or it's zooming off. Every enemy I've actually hit it with, it does the same amount of damage. Venus's stage has actually some pretty cool music. I'm not sure if it belongs in a Mega Man game, but it's awesome. And has this weird bubble theme. That was an awkward first screen. I'm just gonna forget about it and keep going. I have an offer on practice for this screen lately. Alright, we finally got it. Those bees, if they sting you, I mean, I guess the premise is that they poison you somehow and it lags the game, even though you're robots. Maybe they install lag. Maybe I can't jump through waterfalls today. One of those things is definitely true. So I hope you like the first few screens of this stage, because we're going to get to see them again.
Oh, would you like some words of encouragement?
Sure.
To get you through the first few screens of this stage again?
Let's hear them.
All right, we got $50 from Papat.1. Says, good luck, Cab. Hope your run is out of this world. Reminder that Mega Man V is not terrible. He adds, I try to make more puns, but planets don't make great puns. And concludes with, time to suit punch.
Punch, 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 punch.
Punch, 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 punch.
I'm going to save a missile here. That last bubble on that screen, as long as you're sliding, it doesn't seem to trigger falling down, so slide jump, yay. The floating thing, I don't know what else to call it. Usually you use a missile there, but I'm low on ammo. I'm kind of keeping my eye open for a large drop. I'm missing the ladder jump. What is going on? If you're holding the ladder, as long as you don't actually try to climb the ladder, you'll be fine. Now I have a charge, which is slower than just bustering down that extra bee there. Gotta collect my thoughts now because I'm just not playing well. Okay. So this is the first appearance of these bouncy bubbles. They're awful. They're terrible. But you jump higher off the big ones than the small ones. So I hope you pick correctly when you decide to make a jump in an important section of the game. Like in the next screen. Ow. This... I am not liking my D-pad right now. Alright, well, we grabbed the ladder this time at least. I'm gonna do all the things I didn't do last time and complained about not doing. Like, hold a charge to this screen because it's just the right length. I'm actually hanging back a little bit from the crab there while that bubble comes. I don't want to take damage and just not be able to break out in time. Okay, that's weird. That's like the worst room in the game because it's really easy to get caught underneath that double spike. You can actually damage boost through it if you really are out of ideas. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna... Now I think I can declare victory on the stage. We're past all the spikes. This bubble is going to try and be a hero, though. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Ugh. So here's Venus. Way back when, there was a little bit of a Venus first route, so I should be okay even when I run out of missiles here. The main feature of this fight are those laggy small bubbles. See? Buster strats. We're good. I'm trying to decide now where I want to take the intentional death to reset my life total so we don't have something catastrophic happen later. I think I'm going to try and get through Pluto's stage and then just jump in the first bit of Jupiter stage. Spoilers.
Whoa, can't believe you would just spoil a boss order like that.
I know. Can you believe that this game thinks Pluto's still a planet?
I can't.
By the way, we didn't start the game with Rush Coil. Now we have it. Game Boy and Mega Man games are all like that. So here's a cutscene. I forget what the breakdown of it is for the most part, but yes, I'm playing on the Japanese cart solely because of cutscene length. I think the total time is about 28 seconds, something in that range. This whole thing has like these text boxes that appear and then they hang out for a minute. The English version of the game has like a couple of extra text boxes for no reason, the last one of which only has the word here and a period. So Terra's here saying, damn it, Mega Man, you're destroying my comrades. It's fine, I'll just destroy you right now. Dark Moon attack. You might think to yourself, Dark Moon, what kind of robot master would Dark Moon be? Oh god. So we have the Yellow Devil of this game. So if I did this right, I think we're in the right spot. If I didn't dink that one missile on the first shot, we would have had it. Oh my god! Normally the first shot's the one I get. So, okay, that was the one cycle setup. I'm actually going to go to Buster because it's one hit point. And from this point on in the game, I do not get weapon energy back between stages. So weapon management is important. Pepsi, please.
All right, do I have a moment to read another donation?
You do.
All right, well, it's no message with it, but Streamline donated $25, so thank you very much for your kind donation.
Thank you, Streamline. So, Mega Man comes back here, and Dr. Light says, oh no, Mega Man, this is terrible. There's 4 more Star Droids out there. And Mega Man's like, why don't you modify Rush for space travel and I blow him up now? And Dr. Light's like, cool, sounds like a good idea, but why don't you go shopping first? And we have a forced shopping trip. It turns out that's not a bad thing, because there's a pair of bosses later on that you fight back to back, and they're weak against the same thing. So having a weapon tank is very useful. There are no freestanding W tanks in the game, so that's the only way to get one. Sorry. I don't have a cough button with this setup. Pluto's music, best music. Don't at me. Health in this stage is especially important to manage properly. That tank you saw there did 8 points of damage just for me touching it, and they take forever to kill. So there are 3 of them in this stage that we need to somehow get past. I think there's a 4th one, but there's like a top ladder path you can take, so it's not really a concern. So generally, Mercury's weapon plays big in this stage, since you can heal up with it and you don't have to hope for random drops or otherwise play the stage perfectly. Oh, I don't trust that one. You can beat that falling ceiling and get ahead of this, but let's not game over and just say that I made it. As promised, Mercury's weapon. The giant P packs, by the way, are worth 8 P chips, which is the shop currency. The small ones are worth 2. That's the other one. You can damage boost off a small ceiling tile there, which they don't do that much damage. Certainly they do less than 8. I'm going to refill Mars's weapon here, actually. Mars still drained from the fight with Dark Moon, as promised. I did not refill. This is one of 2 Proto Man visits in the game where he will drop something. I guarantee you he's about to give me an S capsule because I just got a large weapon drop, and he didn't do it. Wow. He must have given me a large health drop because we didn't hear anything. So your health at this point might be questionable, but fortunately, Pluto's weak against Mercury's weapon. That was laggy. You know what? We're just going to wait for him because this was already an awful fight because 2 of them came out at once. Hey! If you do it right, you can get Pluto in the top left corner of the screen with 1 hit point left. At which point, your choice, Venus, Rush Coil, do something to hit him with 1 point of damage. I think if you're really going for swag, you can do it a little faster than that, but generally that's the task domain. Killing him with Coil is actually a lot of fun because you get to go up through the shots he's raining down on you. Very funny. Chat, please. It's a Jupiter stage. Jupiter stage is weird because you have these indoor sections like the starting room where gravity is normal, and then you have Mega Man's going to fall really slowly here. You kind of have a Starman gravity setup there. Pro tip for Game Boy Mega Man games, the continue button is B. Don't go back to shop from the late Wily stages. So that jump...
I learned that one myself in my blind playthrough.
I thought about saying I'm not intending to call out anybody in chat here, but you know there's only 2 of you, so... So many people have done that, though. You're in good company.
Well, it's good to at least not be lonely.
So, this first screen and throughout this stage, you're going to see me using Pluto's weapon. Pluto's weapon, in and of itself, is... Oh my goodness, what just happened? Okay. Pluto's weapon, in and of itself, isn't really much to write home about. It's this little dash that goes forward. The fun part is that at the end of it, you have iframes. And obviously, you give a speedrunner a way to basically access iframes on demand, and things get very interesting. I've wasted enough time this run, so I'm actually going to kill this enemy. The proper speed strat here is to jump into him and damage boost and not fall in the pit. This is the midway point, so let's not waste a minute and die there. Alright. Pluto's weapon is also pretty awkward. Well, it's not awkward, it's weird. Sometimes the iframes, generally if you slide, tend to stick around a lot longer than they should. So there's lots of places where you can kind of exploit that. Get a little more benefit from them and go through more things than you think you're actually able to. This last
So is
screen
that similar to... Sorry, go for it.
Go ahead.
Is that similar to like Mega Man 4, for example, where certain timers don't run down while you're sliding?
I don't think it's exactly like that. There's a screen later on in the game where you use the Pluto Dash like immediately, and Mega Man stops flashing, and as long as you do nothing except slide, the iframes just never go away. It's weird. Jupiter is obviously at this point built to be weak against Venus's weapon, since Venus's weapon goes along the ceiling. Easy fight. Just don't get hit by the big giant laser. Yeah, you've got me thinking now. I don't know if it's exactly like that or not, because there's a few places where I'm definitely walking forward, and I have no idea why I'm still invincible from Pluto's attack. And that, I think it's 3 screens after the midpoint. It's the one that has that enemy dropping down from the ceiling and electrifying the floor again. I don't know why you get through that without getting hit. I just know you get through it without getting hit. Jupiter's weapon is easily the strongest weapon in the game from like a pure damage output. It stays on screen long enough to hit most enemies twice. It does a ton of damage. It destroys shots. It has more vertical range than it appears to have. Fair warning, if you're playing the game on 3DS Virtual Console, for whatever reason the iframes are slightly different on that, so you might not hit everything twice per static. Whatever. What is it? Super Shock? Whatever. I'm playing the video game. Ugh. What am I going to say? Those, like, pendulum enemies literally lag the game. Like, that's their entire purpose is lag the game. So whenever you see one... Oh, what was that drop? You generally want to just kill them. There's one that it's not worth trying to kill. Eddie, what are you going to give me? Let's refill this. Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
If there's time,
Yeah.
I do have a donation. All right, we got $15 from Manix, who says $5 for a somewhat deathless Jupiter, and $10 because holy crap, you almost Dark Moon. So, thank you very much, Manix, for following up on your previous donation.
Yeah. The setup to get into the right position for the Dark Moon 1 cycle is like not required. It's just, you know, a setup. You can find that pixel on your own. Whoa. So here I said it destroys shots. You heard it, Jupiter, like, hit something there. It's destroying the shot, so I can kind of land on that platform and just get the heck out of there. Saturn has this kind of weird black hole ring. Go figure, it's Saturn. That just, like, sucks everything in. If you fire buster shots or your Mega Arm at it, it gets caught in it. So Saturn's really annoying, a very hard boss to take care of. Blocks most of your shots, except Jupiter's weapon utterly destroys them. So Saturn is easily the worst Buster-only boss. Poverty Ring Man. I'll take it. You don't get the ring boomerang from him, though. You get this weird black hole attack he never really uses. It's the screen-clearing weapon of this game, which has a couple of other nifty uses later on. Also, Rush Jet, hopefully not seen in this run, but in every practice run I've done leading up to this event, I've gone to the DLC screen, so maybe, if we're lucky, I'll lose more time and we'll get to see Rush Jet. Yep. So, Uranus' stage has these rotating platforms that you slowly fall through. You can make the jump up to that weapon drop, but we're bad at video games today. And I believe this is like sort of the cutting room floor, should have been in Pharaoh Man stage mini boss. It lives in Game Boy land. It dies to 3 missiles. Yay. It's actually good to plant that last missile directly in its face to get the platform underneath you to start getting itself recentered. Okay, that's a risky rush coil jump, but we got it. That one's an easy rush coil jump. We still got it. Yay. If all goes well, that is all of Rush we get to see in the entire run. Oh, I got hit.
Imagine a world where everything goes well.
A world where nothing goes wrong. That's not this run. Hooray for Midway. We're going to try and outrun these birds. Jupiter's weapon, it should be noted, you're either stuck... Oh, God. You're either stuck not able to move while it's out, or you can slide cancel it and you can still jump, but you can't walk. Backup strat. Birds are jerks. Okay. That one has me mad, because in practice I was able to get that screen every time. This screen looks terrifying. Walk to the left until you fall through, and then just slide back to the right, and you're fine. That said, I've lost plenty of great runs there back in the day. This guy again. Wow. Okay, that's more like it. This screen's a little spooky. Don't jump straight out, you will hit those spikes. And then this bird, I've yet to really figure out a good way to get through it. Mannix is going to be in chat saying just use the brake dash on that 2-tile platform and hope you don't dash off of it. And he's absolutely right. That is the speed strat. Just good luck doing it on pace. There are 3 charge levels of Pluto. I didn't really talk about that. They all do the same amount of damage. They just cover different distances. So you use the full charge to get all the way across the room. It does use more ammo to charge it all the way up. And the half charge is really because there's... I don't know what to call it at that point. Quarter charge? First third of a charge? I think uses like half a point of ammo, maybe less. Uranus is actually a somewhat scary boss if you don't know what's going on, since everything does 1 point of damage to him, except Pluto. I think full charges might do 2. And he can collapse half of the room down, crushing you for an instant kill, so... If you don't know what's going on, it's not fun. Mega Man is happy he has defeated all the Star Droids. Terra is not happy about this. I wonder what Terra's weakness is, by the way. Like, I'm not an expert on Robot Master arena building, but I'm glad we got Uranus last. That said, the strat here is to open up with a charge shot, since what happens is if you get more than halfway across the room, that happens. We got knocked back by the laser. And then you get to wait a few seconds while he teleports around. A pot, please. It does have a little bit of an ice, shotgun ice, freeze cracker, weapon that bounces off the wall and deflects in many directions property. But because it's really not anywhere in the game, like, it's not a weapon you can just use on command, it's basically the super arm. You don't usually get to see that. Weapon from Terra, because the last sort of 9th boss in the Game Boy games always gives you a weapon too that's really useful in the end game. Spark Chaser. Kind of a nifty little weapon. I know we didn't talk about this when I was talking about the lore earlier, and I do apologize. Dr. Wily's behind the whole thing.
Whoa.
I know. I lied. Star Droids are a myth. In fact, I mean, the Game Boy games are interesting because Dr. Wily somehow constructs fortresses in space that just get bigger and bigger. Admittedly, Mega Man 3's is a floating castle in the middle of the ocean that nobody notices, which might be weirder. I guess everybody started looking up, so he decided for some misdirection. But in this case, Dr. Wily does not expect a small one-man rush fighter to be of any threat. So we're just going to go in here. There is no RNG to the asteroids. You do have a boost with the A button if you need to boost the chase for some reason.
Or if you needed to get through.
Boost to get through. There you go.
Yeah.
This is the RNG section of the stage of the game. These enemies can appear from any part of the screen and move at one of 3 speeds. You can kind of see the fast one here and the slow one together. I think I hit them both with the charge shot there. That's weird. So, the big thing is to make sure you don't get a slow one on the left side of the screen, or you will be waiting a long time for it. So once you knock out 8 of them, here we go. We're going faster, I guess. I'm kind of lining that bolt up that's next on the left side of Rush's head over the W. This is one of those get centered. These lasers always come in the same pattern. And now we get to blow up the super laser to give us ourselves an entrance. If you do this right, each cycle you wait for the laser, you let loose a charge shot in its mouth, and you do 5 points of damage. If you're the TAS, you do 7 points of damage by perfectly getting a charge shot, a lemon, and another charge shot. So we're looking for a 4-cycle fight here. 19 hit points again. 1-800-Space Marine. Make the call. That's the other great thing about this game. We got Rush Marine in it. Optimally, this last cycle is the one where you only need 4 points of damage. Obviously, it could be somewhere else, so just lose time. Alright, we're inside the Wily Star. Menuing, how does it work? Hey, I finally made this jump today. Awesome. If you go down to the lower path, you get to go through the Rush Jet section, and it's awful. It's not really awful, it's just slow. And that ladder is where the paths rejoin. And we're just going to abuse Pluto's weapon a little more here. Bunch of 1-ups there. If you've played Mega Man 1 Game Boy, Dr. Wily's Revenge, you might recognize the robot in that capsule. You're going to notice a theme. This is Anchor. Anchor's shots get powered up the more you hit him with the Buster. Of course, he's only vulnerable to the Buster, so... Fortunately, he's done in 2 cycles. After each of these mid-bosses we're going to get, we have one of these drops. Sometimes there's like little bonus rooms off to the side that usually have some sort of, large health drop or eddy or something like that. These are the 2 weapon drops we have, with a little bit of which weapon am I going to fill up there. There's Mega Man sliding right through a Joe a long time after those iframes wear off. Hey, it's our buddy Quint. And Quint is the extra robot in Mega Man 2 Game Boy.
Quint is not my buddy.
Why not? Look at that pogo stick. I just wish I knew how to pronounce Shigeru, whatever its name is. So I think it's actually slightly faster to have a full charge you start building up here to actually kill the nest here. But for the purposes of showing off that, I don't know how long ago I used that slide at that point, and I just still slide right through that enemy. There you go. Ah! This game, if you're holding down and you're hitting A a lot, you will just keep sliding. Sliding into that ledge instead of jumping up. Here's everyone's least favorite Mega Man 3 boss, Punk. I guess it's Mega Man I. Ah! That's actually kind of bad because, again, Neptune's weapon is expensive. So these falls here get a little more fun because we have spikes moving around. Fun fact, if you get caught on the side of the spikes and don't touch the D-pad, the spikes will push you and not kill you. Oh, I should have gotten that from Neptune. Last guy here, Ballad. Shouts to Mannix, dubbing this the Imperfect Cell. How imperfect? Well, it doesn't have the ability to body the left side of the screen. So we just get to stand here, take care of business. Mars or Venus are both effective weapons there. You just have a lot more Venus ammo than Mars ammo. Let's get over here for some falling spikes. And as far as game overs go, this is the first checkpoint after the beginning of the whole stage for game. If you die, you start at the previous Mega Man killer. If we can just, for the purposes of that statement, consider Quint to be one of them. 3 fights. Mostly the same strategies here. Venus is not weak against his own attack, which is unfortunate because Jupiter's in the next capsule. There's only one pair of robots that you use the same weapon on as far as capsule routing goes, and they're already next to each other, which makes things pretty nice. Although there is actually another situation where I want to use the same weapon. We'll get there. You'll see. Damn it, Jupiter. Get out of here. So, Mars is one of the question marks in refights. How much Neptune ammo are you going to have when you get here? Generally, if I have 2 shots, I will switch to it to do the extra damage. So I have 3 here, so I can hit him with a few shots. Jupiter's weapon does 2 points of damage, and those shots that he fires in the second phase of the fight, they're always destructible by Buster or anything else anyway. So as long as you're standing past that joint in the floor, Jupiter's weapon is safe to just kind of stand there and blast him with it. The only trick is to make sure you have enough Jupiter to take care of Saturn, because again, Saturn is awful. If you're not sure if you have enough Jupiter, just fight Saturn first, and Buster Mars if you have to. So here's Neptune. Neptune is weak to Terra. Here's this super laggy attack that I mentioned he has. That's one of... It's only Neptune and Mercury that we did not have weaknesses for the first time through. Let's get this fight this time. There we go. You know what? Just for chat, let's go for this. We didn't get the clean Rush Coil kill, but it was still Rush Coil.
Thanks for doing that for the fans.
It's for the fans. Uranus. Second fight, same as the first. You do want to take like a slight step forward before you unleash that full charge Pluto to make sure you actually reach. So last is Mercury. I mentioned way back when that you don't want to lose your W tank. If you hold B long enough to get this sort of half-charge state during the beginning of it, you'll have the iframes. You'll never go past it. You don't want to go to a full charge. If you get hit by the Snatch Buster, even in the middle of the full charge dash, you'll still lose an item. So you want that half one specifically. So you want to fill up Saturn, Pluto. I'm actually going to get a little more in Saturn. I should be okay, though. And realistically, the big RNG factor in runs, and by big I mean 8 seconds worth, does Proto Man give you an S-Capsule? An S-Capsule is an instant-use super tank. It refills everything, and we just finished refights where we used an awful lot of weapon energy. So this is the break split. Rip 8 seconds. I blame Fasta. So, these are the fists of a giant Wily Machine robot of some sort. And both fists are weak to Neptune. Neptune, I didn't really talk about it much. You can direct the attack by holding a directional pad button. So here, because the fist is shaking the floor, which might make it difficult to jump, it is useful to hold up so that the high arc of a standing shot will still tag it. The second fist, rather than doing that pattern, slams the floor and then kind of goes into this like crane snatching position, moving across the screen slowly. If you're against the very edge of the screen, the game says, "Aha! You're trying to one-cycle me." No, none of that. But there is a good spot to stand. That's not quite the edge. And there's a musical cue to kind of slide out of the way. Using our W tank. Okay. Nice. One cycling bosses is always fun. We want to do it left to right because the screen transition is when you run off the right side of the screen. This is the Wily Machine. There are 2 phases to this fight. The only thing you can really do to hurt it is deflect some bombs back into it, which you do with the Buster. He fires these missiles out first, and then a turtle head. And the turtle head's kind of annoying because it tries to raise you into those spikes on the ceiling. They're not instant kill spikes. Also, that happens. Phase 2, once you blow it up, you basically stand there and use the spark chaser. If you ever actually see that thing. You basically have to hit the machine for that little glitch to happen with the orb of the black hole that starts over your head. And from there, it's just a matter of weapon canceling back to Pluto a lot to keep your iframes up while you stand inside the machine's hitbox to do it.
Yo, right before your Sunstar fight, do I have time to read a quick donation? All right. We've got $30 from a Jarmar who just says, hey.
Yo.
Thank you very much, Jarmar.
Shouts to a Jarmar. Pot Dot is telling me I need to start saying, and this time? So this is Sunstar, Sun God if you're reading the Japanese manual. Doesn't seem to like Dr. Wily very much. Sunstar takes 1 point of damage from everything, so it's worth it to kind of start the fight with Pluto out. Just to kind of keep... Oh, wow. So you can abuse the iframes from Pluto throughout the fight. Standing right about here. 1, 2, dash 1, 2, dash 1, 2, dash. Hey! Final phase of the fight. We get this buzzsaw attack. So there's something very important we did not do at any other point in this run. And that is show you the worst weapon in this game, Tango. Tango's not going to get up there. Oh, wow, he did. So that's Tango. That's Mega Man V. That's time. Tango is really good for generating a lot of lag and not actually killing enemies and probably falling down pits, depending on which stage you're in. That said, for whatever reason, I think the Mega Man 1 through V Game Boy meme rule is you must kill Sunstar with Tango. So there you go.